And welcome back, guys. We're in our final round of judging of the live finals here for the Rise International Photography Awards. And we're moving right into the family category now, which is pretty exciting. I know all our judges are excited. We've been here all day. It's the final category, final chance. And we're going to get stuck straight into things here with the family category. So if we're all good here, guys, all ready, all focused, here we go. First print, please. I'm going to take this opportunity as well to speak to William Long.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So William, tell us how long, firstly, you've been involved in awards processes and judging and all the rest of it.
I worked it's 25 years in an awards process, but the first 19 years of selling my work, I never came anywhere near awards. I didn't know what they were. I never understood what associations were. I worked really by myself, with very little input from anywhere. So,
and I dare say that that moment where you did come over to the dark side and have a look at some awards processes, did that change things?
oh yeah, totally. It helped me really develop as a photographer. I am who I am today because of awards and entering competitions.
It's awesome to hear. And guess what? We've got our first award here. So it is a silver, and we congratulate the photographer. Well done. We're going to grab a quick comment if we can. Adam, you were sort of at that lower end. Like, was there something distracting you, or?
I probably felt the skin was a little bit over-processed or over-treated. It could be a little bit more real and maybe just a touch overlit on the faces.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next print, please. Yeah, got to say, William, I had sort of a different experience of that. I was probably thrust into the awards arena before I became even a photographer. I remember I was a 14-year-old kid out the back turning prints at APA. And so I've known nothing different, but I can see how valuable it's been for many people. And I guess my only advice, and you probably echo it, is that get involved as much as you can, as early as you can, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I had a completely different career first, and so I was really doing two careers at the same time. And it was only until I came to Australia that I decided, right, photography, that's it.
Yeah. Fantastic. And we have another silver award. Congratulations. Off to a bit of a flyer start here. Nicola, what did you see in this? Is there anything that you'd like to add to it, or?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate the photographer on, I guess, giving us a beautiful representation of this family. Outback country family, horse-loving people. It's a great piece of visual communication.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Next up, please. And William, I know you entered APA this year, and at 25 years into the process, why would you keep entering?
Because I have, I think,
You've got one thing left.
I got my masters, and I've got 5 bars as well, and I need 2 more golds to become a grandmaster.
It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come. And I think the chase is always there, right? We're in whatever space or spectrum that awards arena lives in. I think for me, it's now come down to what can I push myself to? What can I push myself to do? Like, these awards are coming up. Like, the next round of the Rise Awards is going to come up. What ideas am I thinking about? What am I doing next to push myself? And I think that's where awards really come into play.
Well, I pushed into doing something entirely different this year. It sort of worked.
Sort of. And congratulations to this photographer, because we have a silver award. Fantastic. Well done. Kind of all even across the spectrum there. Maybe Adam, or actually I'll go to Steve. Have you got anything to add to this, mate? Like, in terms of what you're seeing, is there anything sort of distracting you?
I like the concept and how it's capturing kind of the personalities of the individual family members, but keeping it as a collective, as a group of images or frames. I put it in a good professional practice. I think to go higher, it probably each one probably needs a bit more of a story and a bit more focus.
Fantastic. Thank you. Next print, please. And I'd probably add to anyone who's either watching online now live, or maybe you've purchased the recording, which I've got to remind you, you can do, and you could watch this back time and time again, which is certainly great investment to anyone who wants to really tune in, watch some great prints and get the feedback from them, maybe interpolate that to their own images. It'll be an awesome thing for you. But I'd probably add that, you know, entering the awards needs to not be about the winning of the awards. It needs to not be about the trophy. And I think anytime anyone goes into an awards sort of area like that with that idea, you're destined to fail. If you come into it with the thing of, I'm going to push myself and find something else that I can do here, you'll always win. Somehow, some way. Don't worry, I miserably failed this year at APA as well, mate. So. But it's okay, I got one of those black ribbons, that's all good.
I got 2 silvers in this, 2 silvers with distinction.
Oh yeah, miserably failing there. I'll tell you what, this person hasn't failed at all because we have another silver award. Congratulations. All our judges, Alicia, please, love to hear from you.
Yeah, I think the concept of this is actually quite beautiful, but the execution could have been stronger. The posing needs a bit more work and thought, and the lighting isn't consistent through all the images. Like, you've got somewhere it's more warm and somewhere it's a bit cool and somewhere it's a bit brighter and somewhere it's a bit flat. So more consistency, a little bit better posing, and this could have been a bit stronger.
Awesome. And yeah, definitely a great sort of story or message happening
Yes,
through
there
here,
is.
but just it's the execution that we're looking for
Yes.
as well. Yep, perfect. Thank you. Next print, please. I think if I ever went into something hoping to win or hoping to collect the prize, which obviously here at the Rise Awards, amazing prizes to go after, but there needs to be something a bit deeper than that. You need to ask yourself really the question of why are you entering? And if you can answer that with a really wholehearted answer, I think you'll start in a good place. But for everyone that's entered today, we've had some really good awards. People have been rewarded really, really well. And if you are one of the people work's been judged today and you have done really well, get out, tell the world, be proud, get it all out, splash it all over. And this person should do the same thing because they got a silver. Congratulations. Adam, I am going to come to you, however. You didn't have it in that silver range. Maybe just filling us into why.
I didn't. I struggled with the texture that that's come from the background going over the skin of the person, but not on the face. And that's good that it didn't go on the face, but it just sort of exemplified how deliberate where it had been placed was.
Maybe the harshness of
Yeah.
that just need to be softened a little bit out.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Next print, please. And what I'd encourage people to do, if you are watching online now and you've ever thought, oh, you know, it'd be kind of cool to go down and watch an awards live, would our live audience agree that it's been a little different today, right? Like, it's been a little different sitting here, feeling the energy, getting into it all, rather than just sort of sitting at home in your pajamas. Is that...
Seeing the difference on the screens is huge.
Seeing the difference in screens is huge. There you go. So there's one good point. Yep. And I'm going to tell you, this print, pretty solid in that silver range. So congratulations to the photographer. Can I maybe ask a quick comment from, where are we? Sorry, Francis. You really love this.
Yes, I think it's absolutely stunning. There's a lot of emotions. It's beautifully crafted. It's well lit. It's a gorgeous image.
Beautiful. If I may, just probably to me, the cropping or the positioning of where the girl's head is in comparison to the horse, maybe if we brought that down a little bit, just to crop out the reality of the shirt there. I love like the hair and the mane and all that sort of thing, but the shirt sort of just takes it away from me a little bit. But next print, please. Hey William, how hard is it to come up every year with something new, something exciting that people haven't seen before?
Very.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. And I sometimes think about concepts for a year or two, certainly this time round. Sometimes just putting in, not specifically shooting anything for the awards, just taking the work that you deliver to your clients. Yeah.
Perfect. I think at some stage that's got to translate over, right? Like between concept and client.
Yeah, it does.
So, and I'll tell you, this one is done really well. Really, really solid silver award. So congratulations. Hey Nicolai,
Yes.
kind of at the lower end of that, was there something that was sort of like taking it away from you, or? Like?
I guess that I think the rocks or whatever they are in the middle of the circle. I was sort of wondering why they're there. For me, I really like the originality. Is that a word? Of the presentation, but there's just something that it wasn't quite there for me anyway. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Next print, please. And it's amazing to enter these type of awards because, and what I'd be looking for especially is awards that can carry, I guess, the overall quality of judging and the process that it goes through. That's what I'd be looking for. If you're looking at amateur awards, I'd be looking at something that carries obviously the quality of not only the judges that are chosen, but the process, the rules, and everything else that goes through it. And I can certainly tell you, without any bias, that this has been second to none. So well done to the guys again from Newborn Posing and the Rise International Photography Awards. And thank you to all of our partners, sponsors who have so generously given stuff to give prizes away to all our entrants. We're almost there on this one. So this is a silver award. So congratulations. Yeah, there's two challenges. So I'm going to take Adam. You're at the higher end of that gold range. So let's hear what you thought.
Yeah, what a really unique presentation of different parents' experiences and underpinned in the centre by, I would imagine, expectant parents or hopeful parents. These individually, the cells are unique and individually quite strong. There's really great expressions, but the photographer has taken the care to create the same cell shape of each little family group, and the masterstroke for me was having expectant, hopeful, or parents in the centre, and that's really, really strong communication and deserving of gold.
Mate, you've certainly got support. I don't think this is going to be a hard argument, but Alicia, can we come to you for your comments first?
No, I think I'd just like to listen a little bit more if I can.
Okay, then I'm going to come to Francis.
Yes, look, as soon as I put my scoring, I thought I should have gone actually a bit higher because it's a very, very strong piece of communication. It's very graphical. It's very pleasing to look at. I can see church windows and all sorts of things, but it's actually family portrait as well. And then, of course, the narrative of the couple with no baby, the other families with the different situation. It's also very emotional, very strong image.
Cool. And you've got support in Steve, so let's hear what you thought as well, buddy. If you've got anything more to add.
Yeah, I think it was beautifully created. Each little window is its own little story, and they're all kind of really well captured and really well lit and handled. And they are consistent across all of them, so you don't have any that take your eye away from them. And that middle one, it just kind of completes the story that perhaps this is all their friends who have babies and they're after theirs.
Beautiful. Adam, wrap it up.
Yeah, I think Steve wrapped it up really well. There's a lot of control here, there's a lot of uniqueness, and we need to deserve it as such as the gold.
Beautiful. We're going to ask you all to rescore now. This ended up in the silver category. Adam's asked for it to be in the gold category. Let's see where it gets you. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this will be a gold award. Congratulations. Thank you. Next print, please. Stellar effort by all of our judges today. We thank you all very, very, very much for your service. If you're sitting back at home and thinking, wow, I'd love to be a judge one day, or you're in our audience thinking, wow, I'd like to be a judge one day, and you know what some people do in the audiences sometimes is they sit there and they write the score that they think the print should be. And I know I've had some people come up to me and say, Ryan, you know what? I've sat here all day and I've banged on the average each and every time. I've written down the score and it's averaged out to be that exact score. And the thing I say to those people is that, fantastic, you'll be a really average judge. And I guess what I'm looking for in great judges is those who can communicate really well. And I think these judges have done a stellar job of it today, communicating exactly how they feel and why they feel that about the picture. And that's exactly what we're looking for in good judging. We're waiting on one more score to come in.
Hard to continually do. What's
that?
It's hard.
It is hard to continually do. Yep. And I'd say to you, William, it's harder to continually fill in time. And for this, congratulations to the photographer. It is a bronze award. Well done. All our judges pretty well in agreement at that stage. Nicola, tell us, what was taken away for you?
There's a couple of things. Some use of textures are probably a little heavy-handed. And there's the background sort of ends and then there's wooden floor, and I'm not sure that that's adding anything. And yeah, just some of the styling with the flowers and the tulle was a little bit, could use some refining, so keep working on this style and pushing it, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We're going to do a little judge change. Nicola, you're going to have a break, and William, you're going to come back in. And while that happens, we'll have the next print, please. And I don't say that comment to be mean. All that I'm looking for is, I guess, people that can be strong in their opinions and back it up with really good content. That's all. So if you're wondering why I have so many opinions on all this, is that because I was, in fact, at one stage, the chairman of jurors at the AIPP, and I've had a little bit to do with the WPPI system as well over the years. And I can tell you, one of the judges I used to use and abuse all the time as a chairman of jurors was Adam Finch. He would be used and abused and used on every single panel at every single moment. And by the end of it, I'd look at Adam and he'd be absolutely shattered by the end of the 3 days, and he'd need about 50 litres of tequila, and we'd feed him eventually. Thank you, judges. This image has scored a silver award. And I've got half a hand up. I think you should just go for it. You're in gold. Yeah, so let's take your challenge, Alicia. You're in gold. You've got a little bit of work to do. Everyone's sort of wolf packing around the same mark together.
Oh, how clever. clever is this? It's cross stitch, and for those who can't see it, the cross stitch is actually photos of the family members. Little tiny photos of the family members make up the pattern. It's really, really clever. It's unique. I dare say that there's a good chance that Mum is probably an avid cross stitcher. So the photographer may have, I'm just saying there's a chance the photographer has probably taken inspiration walking into the house and seeing cross stitch on the wall and found a way to incorporate that into it, because this is inspired by something, and it's a really unique way of photographing a family. I've never seen anything like it, and I really think that I don't think that there's any chance we're going to see anything like this again, because if we do, it's definitely going to be some sort of imitation of this, because this is definitely a very unique way of looking at a family portrait. Even the dog, they've got the dog standing on his back two legs and photographed him, and they've got him copied for the cross stitch, which is just fantastic. It's great. You get in their clothes, it's like, it's really cool.
Awesome.
Sorry, it gave me a giggle. I'd like to hear a little bit more from other people.
I'll go to William first.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I'll go to Francis.
Yes, look, it definitely grabs your attention straight away, and I do agree it's a very innovative image, and I love the choices of the colours and the background, and it all really pulls together nicely, and I'm still staring at it and fascinated. However, the little people, the little stitches, they are pretty much the same. There is a lot of repetition happening, and I'd just like to see a little bit of more personality coming through about this family, which I'm missing. Just their personalities. I can't really learn too much about the family itself. For me, it's a very graphical image as well, and I do enjoy that, and I put it in the silver range for that.
Beautiful. Adam, let's go to you.
Yeah, I think I'm still in a really solid silver range, but I think where I struggle to go to gold is I'm awarding the graphic art element of it over the photographic element. The actual subjects aren't. There's no exciting lighting, and there's not a lot of photographic skill that's gone into creating the image part of these. It's more the construction of it afterwards, and I guess that is an individual opinion. But on top of that, I think the background behind the cross stitch is pretty psychedelic, and probably doesn't add anything to the overall presentation.
Can I come to you now, Will?
Very quickly, yes.
Yes.
I just I agree with Adam there, and I think it's the missed opportunity of the background that's holding me back from going much higher than the solid silver that I gave it. But I'm still prepared to listen.
Alicia, a few little things to answer there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the background, it could be inspired by wallpaper in their home, you never know. But I mean, sometimes we look at images when we judge, and they are graphical images, and that's what we're judging on. And this is a graphic element. I mean, and personality, we're not looking at those individual little tiny cross stitches for the personality. We're looking at what they've been put together as. And we've got mum and dad holding hands, the two kids sitting there with little smiles on their faces, and the dog's even got a head tilt, which they've put in there, the little head tilt on the dog. And we know it's the family and what year it is, and you know, mum's got her little heels on, they've got little smiles. It's just a really unique, cute, creative way of putting together a family portrait made up of hundreds of little shots of the family, and cross stitch is meant to be perfect. So, you know, cross stitchers hate it when they get imperfect stitches, so they're allowed to be perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you, judges. We'll ask you to rescore now. This did score a silver award. Alicia is asking for it to come up into the gold range.
Come on.
Thank you, judges. This will land in the silver range, and congratulations to the photographer. Thank you. Next print, please. Few little laughs, few little giggles at the end of a long day. Not too bad at all. I think everyone's done pretty well. But I can rest assured the judges are on task at each and every print. And we've got a few little prints to go. So looking forward to it. And if you're hanging in online with us there, we thank you. Thanks for staying online with us, keeping up with us. We appreciate it. And I can tell you the Wolfpack has decided, and this will be a silver award. So, congratulations. You can.
I really love to see a highlight in the young child's eye. It's in dire need of it. It looks a little bit devil child without it.
Needs a little catch light in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, great comment. Thank you. Next print, please. So this print has scored a silver award, but we might have a little chat about this because Adam is in gold. And Adam, it's yours.
Yeah, this is thoroughly unique. Really well crafted. I really enjoy the out of focus door frame. It kind of gives a sense of, I'm trying to think of the right word for it, sort of peeping Tom sort of style, happenstance, voyeurism. That is exactly the word I'm looking for. To the image that really makes this moment, although incredibly bizarre, even more bizarre but also far more real. Probably the highlight on a particular part of the dog's anatomy isn't ideal, but at the same time, that adds a level of realism to it as well. I love how kind of clean and perfect it is, but when you get in close, there's still a lot of realism there. There's some marks on the feet and bits and pieces and some stains on the door of the washing machine and things like that reinforce its realism. I'm in gold. This is quite unique, and I'd like to reward it as such.
Thank you, Francis. We can come to you. You're on the other end there.
Yes. Look, I will come up into a different range. Yes, it's definitely a very unique image, and but I found the focus on the dog would need to be a little bit stronger to bring that message across. I was a little bit distracted by the door frame in the front, but also a little bit on the dog, which I think really brings my eye straight there. So at this stage, yes, I'd just like to hear a bit more about it. It didn't quite do it for me.
I'm going to find you some support in Steve. So.
Yep, I when it came up, I kind of maybe chuckled, which kind of had that communicated quite well with me, and yeah, I think it really works as just how the dog's kind of, it's just so happenstance kind of situation. The reason I didn't go, I guess, into the gold area was probably the upper part of the image is quite, I guess, bright and does lead your eyes away from what's actually happening. So, a possible crop could have helped.
Awesome. And Adam, it's back to you.
Yeah, I think it is its abstract nature that I'm most attracted to. It's got a level of polish to it whilst retaining a level of realism that means the photographer has made definite choices about what to include, what not to include, and that's I'd like to reward that level of craft. I think it's worthy of gold.
This is sat in the silver range. Adam's asking for it to gold, and we'll rescore now.
Sorry, Monday. It's giving me a formula.
Just a second while we get this last little score in. Thank you for bearing with us online. If you're tuning in, still a few people tuned in. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we're there. Yep. And this is a silver award, so congratulations. Thank you. And next print, please. Let me hand the mic over to Kelly, who will fill us in on all things Baby Summit this weekend.
Yeah, you have done a lot of talking today. Give you a little break. How incredible has Ryan been? Seriously. We absolutely amazing. It wouldn't be, you know, what it is today without him. So we are so grateful, and you bring just such a vibrancy to it. It's really good, and a lot of knowledge. And like he said, he used to be the chairman of jurors, so there's no better person to actually, you know, open up our inaugural Rise Awards. So yeah, Baby Summit this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in Brisbane at the Brisbane Convention Centre. We have 16 incredible speakers. Guest speaker Lisa Wilkinson from The Project on Channel 10. We have, oh my God, we actually have 2 Grand Masters. So what Ryan's not told you is that he is only one of 3 Grand Masters in the world at both AIPP and WPPI. Now that is a massive achievement. So he really does know what he's talking about when it does come to competitions. But yeah, I'm going to read it out. It's a silver. Well done.
Everyone loves it, but Steve can talk about it.
Okay, Steve, you're up.
Yep. I love the interaction between each of the kids, and it does show their personalities in each one. I probably think the bottom one's probably, I guess, the strongest one for me, that really pulled my attention. I just think that captures personalities a bit more than the middle one and the top one. But yeah, it's a great image.
Yeah, it does show a lot of personality in there. Lots of fun. Next print, please.
Lisa Wilkinson. Well, I met Lisa for the first time the other night. She's lovely. Yeah, she's so lovely. Yeah. And is Lisa a Canon ambassador?
She is, yeah.
There you go.
We got to meet her and Dr. Chris Brown.
Oh, of course. Kelly remembers meeting Chris Brown. Ah, yes.
Just because he
Nothing to do with that guy being very tall and very good looking. Which he is. Hey, he knows how to use a camera. He's doing well.
It's not often I get to look up to somebody.
And everyone's agreeing that this should be a silver award, so congratulations. You can, yeah, of course.
I'm in the silver category, but I'm a rather strong silver. I'm just going to challenge this. I mean, this is just a really honest portrait. I mean, they're just there. They're really just giving you themselves. They've been told, they're not being given a brief about how to dress. I mean, so many photographers these days send out their little briefs about dressing certain ways and being all pretty and dressing in autumnal colours and things like that. They haven't got that brief. They're themselves. He's got sunnies on his head, you know, their shoes are just the runners. I like that there's nothing contrived, like overly contrived. I mean, they've got the pets and they've got their pets. They've got their snake, they've got their dog. Even the dog has the same expression on his face as all the people in that photo. It is the exact same expression. And really the only person smiling is the guy with the sunnies on his head. No one else in there is really smiling. It's just a nicely shot image. There's that lovely light coming from the off-camera flash there that's coming through as well. That's giving them that light from that back left. It's just nice. We can tell a lot from this family. There's a bit of strength there. There's a bit of guts. And I think it's more than just that silver. I like that it's just honest. It's really honest, and we've been brought that by this photographer.
Okay, I'll give you my little feedback on this, and anyone else can talk about it, is the disconnect in light. There seems to be conflicting shadows in this, and that's where I'm sort of losing, I guess, connection with it. Does anyone else have anything else to add to this picture? William?
I just wish they'd moved this just a little bit further out.
Can you explain what you're pointing to?
Sorry, yes. The group on the left-hand side of the image, because these three are they're just touching the edge of the truck behind them. It would have been lovely if these people had been out as well. I gave it mid-range silver. I think it sort of deserves that. Yeah.
Adam, can I come to you?
Yeah, I guess what I hate to use this line, what I would have done differently, it's such a photographer thing to say, is I would have loved to have seen the truck lights actually being the source of that backlight rather than the very obvious off-camera flash. I think that would have settled my nerves about sort of the uneven lighting and so forth. It would give a reason for that light to be there. And with the front light maybe being a little bit softer, there's a pretty strong shadow, especially from the young boy on his sister or mother. I'm not going to assume anything with this image, on her shorts. And if you had a softer light source, that would be a little bit more flattering, and I think across the board. But I do love how honest it is.
Alicia, back to you.
I actually don't disagree with any of the comments that have been made. If I disagreed, I probably would have been up in the gold range and trying to argue for a gold, but I haven't. I've put it in a very, very strong silver range, and all I'm asking is to move up to a more of a strong silver. I just feel that in a lower silver area, we're not rewarding the honesty that has been put before us, and the thought that has gone into not being over-contrived, which is a trap that a lot of photographers fall into when they're given families. I mean, they've got a family that's come to them for portraits and they haven't tried to make them into something they're not, and I think that they should be rewarded for that at the very least.
Thank you, judges. We'll rescore the print now. Everyone in? Great little discussion there. It stays in that silver range, so congratulations to the photographer. And thank you. Next print, please. Hey ladies, so what's been your favourite little comment from today?
Cropping and rotation playing a big part in the way that an image is viewed.
Cool, you agree?
Yes, but I really learn a lot about the creating story
Creating story.
Stories, yes.
Story's huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Good to hear. And we have a silver award. Congratulations. For sure, Adam.
I really enjoy this comment. I think I might have seen this print before at a previous judging or something like that, and it is the best version of it I've seen so far. But the very obvious kind of lightening of the children's drawings on the right-hand side was a bit off-putting, and I'm not completely convinced that the frame on the right was in the original capture. That's not an issue if it was added, but I can tell that it's added, and that's sort of, I think if you can blend them better, that will give an overall better result.
Thank you for your comments. Next print, please. And all judges are agreeing that this should be a bronze award, so congratulations to this photographer. And if I might, it might just be that there just needs to be that little bit more story, that little bit more intrigue, or something that draws our judges into bringing things into that either silver or gold award range. Next print, please. Thank you, judges. This sits quite comfortably in the silver award range. And I'll take the challenge. Alicia is in the gold range. Go for it.
It's always me.
Not really.
I just thought, first of all, what a unique and fun way to shoot a family portrait. And then you get up there and there's just so much fun and joy on their faces. And then I just really like, I like the heavy contrast for this one. I feel that it's one of those images where it works, particularly when they're shooting through quite a difficult trampoline matting, which wouldn't have been easy with the sun coming through the top and everything like that. So that heavy contrast is working. But we're seeing there is a lot of expression there, and the hair is flying, and you can still tell, every smile on the face, and the cousins or brothers or sisters looking in and watching. It's lots of fun, and yes, there are repeated people, I can see that, but it's fun, it's joy, it's childhood. I love the perspective. It's been really well put together.
William, can I come to you?
It's a good concept, but I don't think the execution is as good as it could be. And I think all of those expressions are lost in fairly heavy shadows, which could have been sorted out in post.
Or time of day?
Or time of day, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Adam, you sort of in support, like sort of halfway between it all?
Yeah, and I kind of agree with both of the comments basically, and that's why I'm sort of halfway between. I really love the concept. I think it's better than a good concept. I think it's a great concept, but I would like to see a bit more shadow detail, just a bit to get me into the gold, but I think a good strong silver is rewarding the author for that.
Alicia, is there anything more to add?
I don't know, it's grabbed me. I'm even looking at it from a graphic point of view. If you sit back and you have a look at the shape and the form work as well, it's just one of those images that pops, and you can find other things in there, and you get up there and you can still see the expression. I mean, you say you want to see more in the shadow, you can still see their expressions. They are there. I think we can work at least getting this to a really strong silver, at the very least. I mean, I'm in the gold range, but a strong silver would be fantastic.
Thank you. And judges, we will rescore this print now. All good, and this comfortably sits in the silver range, and we congratulate the photographer. Thank you. Next print, please. And for those of you who may be joining us just for the first time today, you're tuning into the last little part of the finals judging of the Rise International Photography Awards, brought to you by newbornposing.com. We're in the live judging of the final rounds. These images have been preliminary judged, but then we took the top 20 scores from each category. We've put them in front of our live panel today of 5 very qualified international judges, and I think we counted between us all, there's 86 years worth of judging experience right here, which is kind of crazy. And we've been going all day, and we're in the home stretch. And we have a silver award quite comfortably and quite unanimously. So well done, judges. Congratulations to the photographer. Nicola, can I grab maybe just one thing from you that maybe just held you back a little bit, grabbing your eye? What was it?
For me,
Yeah.
I just felt some of the texture layers are a bit heavy,
Yeah.
and that was all really.
Awesome. Okay, there you go. So maybe just easing back on that a little bit would be good. Next print, please. Just waiting on some scores to come in on this image, which are all filtering on through to me at the moment. One more to come. There we go. And quite collectively, we're saying that this is a silver award. Congratulations to the photographer. Steve, was there anything within this? It looks quite flawless from this point. Maybe it was just something else that needed a bit of kick or something there?
Well, I think like high silver is pretty good for this image. I really like the expression on the baby on the bottom there with the eye kind of raised. I guess just looking at something probably a little bit more something that catches you, like story-wise. I think the actual treatment is beautiful. Just looking for something to connect it all together.
And Alicia, did you have something to add?
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
It is actually a beautiful image. I could have gone higher, but it's blocking up. And you can see on these monitors it's blocking up quite noticeably.
And why it's, again, so important to be looking at the images on a color-corrected full gamut screen so that you see each and every little pixel that's in there. So we thank the judges for those comments, and we'll have the next print, please. joined by Ali. Hey, buddy. Coming through to say hi. And I think we certainly do. We have a score on this picture, and it has scored a silver award. And we will accept William's challenge because he's in the gold range and he's quite high into that one.
I've got it high gold because they're just superb. Really makes you look. First you think you're looking at an ink blot, and then it sort of springs into focus. It's unique. It's perfectly done, and I'm convinced it deserves a very high gold.
A bit of a chat about this one. Let's go next to you to Nicola.
I'm at the other end, William, and I do echo some of your comments. It sort of had that ink blot feel, and it did take me probably 15, 20 seconds to work out the orientation. I do think it's really unique and creative, but I feel like it's maybe a little bit clunky in parts of the the silhouette, and because it's black against white, you know, there's no depth there, and I don't think it's perfect. I think it's very good and very creative, but I'm nowhere near gold. But I'll move up to silver.
Adam, can I come to you first?
Yes,
sort
you
of
may.
sitting in that silver range.
Yeah, I am in the silver range. I really enjoyed the concept, but I don't necessarily believe this is the best way it could be executed. We're lacking a chin on the mum. I think the hair on the sort of where the baby's forehead joins the hairline is a little bit. From a distance, it looks like there's a divot, and then up close, it sort of is a little bit messy. The smile on the dad seems not very smiley, etc. So I think it's a really great concept, and this is a good example of it. And I think in the silver range, it's rewarding of that. But to go to gold, you'd need to see an exceptional example of it.
One more comment from Steve. You're sort of getting up there to that gold range.
Yeah, I enjoyed the graphical nature of it as well. At first, yeah, just kind of took a while to work out what it was. The thing, I guess, the main detractor for me is from going up into the high gold area is probably the mouth of probably the father and the mother. It doesn't give any sort of like if you're looking at your baby, that expression doesn't look right. It should be more smiling, maybe. just different shape.
Thank you, and William, we'll come back to you to wrap up.
I think the fact that I'm looking at literally black and white, and we're all looking at just black and white, it's very difficult for it to be anything other than a bit messy in places, and you're not going to see things like chins because there's making contact there. Look, I mean, this just shows the beauty of the subjectivity of photography. I think this is fabulous, and I think it deserves a high score.
Thank you, judges. We will ask you now to rescore the print. And if we're all in and we're all done, I'm going to tell you that this is a silver award, and congratulations to this photographer. And with that, we thank you very much for joining us here today on our final round of judging for the Rise International Photography Awards. We thank all of our judges, the crew behind the scenes, the live streaming. Kelly,
Wow.
the mic's yours.
Wow, thank you. Seriously, you guys have done such an incredible job. It's been a long day, but what an amazing selection of images that have been submitted from photographers all over the world. It really does show
you know, that there is such an incredible standard out there, and I really do hope that everyone that has received awards from the Rise photography competition, you know, can now actually see the level and the quality of the work that you're actually producing. Be proud of it, share it with the world, and value your work, which is truly incredible. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in live, for being a part of this whole entire process. Congratulations to everyone that has entered for the feedback and has also received some awards. And on Sunday night at the Rise dinner at the Baby Summit, we are going to see some extremely happy people receive some very worthwhile awards, which is going to be absolutely fascinating. We actually do have one of our little trophies here. It's yet to be engraved because we don't know who the winners are just yet. But yeah, these beautiful glass trophies will be handed out on Sunday night. And yeah, I don't think there's much more that I need to add because it's all been said all day. A massive thank you to our incredible sponsors. Like, they came on board with this, and it is our first year. Obviously, with everything, the firsts, you know, there's lots of learning curves, lots of little things that we can perfect for the next year. But overall, what an incredible success this has been. And the support that we've received and the encouragement and the feedback has been absolutely incredible. So we can't wait to do it all again next year. But on Sunday night, we will announce our winners, first, second and third in each of our 6 categories, plus our overall winner, who will take home a prize pool, you know, all of them, over $50,000. And then we also have our Rising Photographer of the Year. Speaking too fast, trying to wrap this up. And so that is to reward someone who has only been in business for less than 2 years. But yeah, thank you, Ryan. Thank you to each of our judges. They have given up their time to be here. Thank you for taking the time to watch online, and thank you to our incredible in-studio audience. We've had people we've got one left. Last man standing. I think she deserves a drink. But people have been coming in and out all day and really loving the process. We've had people here today that didn't even enter, but just came to learn from all of this incredible, invaluable feedback from 87 or 86 years of judging experience right here in this room. So we're excited about where the Rise Awards are going to go and what we've achieved this year. So stay tuned for the results. We'll post more information on the Facebook page and on the Baby Summit website. And yeah, awesome. I'm going to go.
Why not?
Because we have to choose the overall winner.
Let's do that. Thanks, guys.